Okay. Good morning, fam. It's round about midnight, and I'm jumping on right now. I hate to say I told you so, but I feel like I need to talk about why heading to the streets is not my fight. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's talk about it.
Real talk with Mrs. Day. All day. She's been done that, walked through the fire. Now she's lifting queens up, taking them higher. From faith to fitness, finances too. Mrs. Day all day, got some real talk for you. It's real talk every single day with Mrs. Day all day, lighting up your way. For the women over 50, bold and true. We see you, we feel you, we're talking to you.
Now, as I just mentioned, y'all know by now it's Ms. Day all day. And I'm titling this, I hate to say I told you so, but I did. As I'm sitting back watching all of the chaos and the just dismantling of our democracy behind a dementia-ridden individual and a bunch of saps that follow him blindly, it's very painful. But what I do know, one thing for certain and two things for sure, that I did my part prior to the orange guy getting reelected. This demon told the American public to, I should say, our faces, because I heard it, exactly what he was intending to do. And the fact that a whole segment of the government that is supposed to protect and serve and adhere to the Constitution follow him blindly is such a disgrace. America is a laughing stock of the world, and it's sad. But nevertheless, I'm going to insert a picture one side of here. Up here, I'm going to have my husband to insert this video that I did 6 days prior to the November 5th election. 6 days out, I did this video, and it was titled Trump's Blacks and Hispanics, because I was talking to both of those groups of people because they had just seemed to be spiraling. They had lost their minds, and they were so hell bent on they're not going to elect a black woman. I hear men, is this misogyny when men don't respect women, that they couldn't see having a female president, let alone a black one at that, right? Nevertheless, that she had a plan, a purpose, a vision, and some intelligence. They didn't want to have any parts of it. And don't get me wrong, the Democratic Party is not perfect. They have major problems as well, because it's all set up like that between all of them. They just playing all of us against each other and pit us against each other. But the fact that y'all would not vote for somebody with intelligence versus somebody who is clearly blatantly a racist, they outlined it in Project 2025. This man talks about it, calling people his blacks and this kind of foolishness. Oh my God. But never, I digress. Let me stay focused. I'm going to stay on track here. But in that video, talking to Trump's blacks and the Latinos, the Hispanics, all of the groups that just was on some other kind of time, you guys didn't believe it, because I come to find out that Hispanics and Latinos, you guys do too also have that racism and hierarchy amongst your own groups. That's something you just didn't care, figuring if they undocumented, so be it. We don't care. It ain't us. We good. We safe. And I reside out here in Las Vegas, Nevada, and where some of the brown-skinned people, the light-skinned Hispanics, some of you guys think that you're in that Caucasian class and that you were too light to be affected. You're finding out now, though, right? And we're going to get back to that about the late Vegas part of it. But I found out that some of you didn't care if your undocumented cousins, if they were a part of the DACA, if they had been here for 30 years, you didn't care, didn't have anything to do with you. But now you're being profiled. You guys are really understanding what Black people, Black women, men in America go through every day, just being profiled for the hue of your skin, right? So now everybody in the mix, they coming for everybody. Got people running afraid to go to graduation, don't want to go to work. They just grabbing you up off the work sites outside the Home Depot. It is a lot, right? But remember, now here's the part of that video that I warned the public about, because like I say, I did my part. I was on social media. I worked with the Nevada campaign headquarters out here. I was doing all that I could to bring awareness to what was happening. I didn't read the entire Project 2025, 950 pages, but I read enough to understand that they were coming for us. They were coming for everybody, right? So that was in play for the Black community. Everything that's happening right now, want to take the housing, want to take food resources. But if you're an able-bodied individual and your ass can go to work, I believe you should go to work, okay? Do something. You can be a crossing guard if your skills aren't that high. You can go to school and get some skills. So everybody needs to be working if you're able-bodied, okay? But if you paid into this system, if you are a veteran, you should be able to get resources before any undocumented anybody, right? Be that Venezuelans, Haitians, Puerto Ricans, Mexicans, Europeans, whomever. If you are not a citizen first, should get the resources. Let's get that off the table first, right? But I told you guys about the Mexican Repatriation Act that went on in this country in 1929 to 1939. And they were rounding up Mexican Americans, whether you were born here or not. Oh, Jesus. From 1929 to 1939, at least 400,000 up to 2 million of you were rounded up and sent back to Mexico. Whether you had connections, family, friends, loved ones, or just a dream about ever visiting, they were casting you back across the border. Now, when the orange guy was saying this during his run for the House again, don't you know this man told y'all that? He said, we're going back and get some of them old laws. We're going to get them and we're going to bring them back. And that's just what they're doing right now. But the scandalous, just disrespectful, unlawful, delinquent, trash way that they're doing it with no sort of recourse, no, what do you call it, due process, because this dude thinks he's a king. Man, he don't even know where he is, and y'all are following him blindly. That's just so disgusting. But in that video, I told you guys what was going to happen. But sometimes it's just that hate and just in your spirit, well, you're dealing with it now. So now this brings us to what I'm sitting here seeing on the YouTube streets now, talking about why isn't Black America getting involved? And especially us Black women, you know, because we tend to stand up for our families and our friends and our rights. Why are we not out there in the streets protesting? Because at 62 years young, that is not my fight, okay? My fight was online, on that social media, putting the word out, working to get a competent person elected. But right now, you think I'm going to go out to the streets, like you say, you think they're calling for martial law. As soon as they see our beautiful melanated skin out there, oh, it won't be rubber bullets. They looking to start some martial law, and they would love to have us up in the front row. Not so. No, we're good. We're good. I'm not getting involved in any of that. But there's other ways to get involved. I'm going to be talking to my congressman, Stephen Horsford, who's out here in Nevada. I'm going to be going to my city council meetings, and I'm going to be talking to them about a lot of things in my community that's not right, that's not straight with the roads, and going to be asking about how can we get some order. I talked to congressmen about that with these HOAs. There's a lot of other things in my community that affects my family that I'm going to get involved in, but it ain't this. It's not this. Absolutely not. And especially when you guys just really shut your eyes and just felt like you were safe. Yeah. Okay. It is what it is. But even when you guys were talking about, let's get out to the streets and rally, I think that was in April 4th. I was recovering from my surgery, so I wasn't going to go to the streets then anyway, but I'm not going because like I said, I showed up November 5th. Where were you? Ask yourself, did you participate in the madness that's going on, or did you do something to not be a part of the problem? Were you a part of the solution, or were you a part of this problem that's going on now? Because I'm sitting back and I'm wondering who's going to put a stop to it. Another note that I had is that Congress is a disgrace too, that they in the House of Representatives, and the Congress, the senators and the Congress people. It is a disgrace. And let's just talk about a few of them. I saw that ignoramus Ted Cruz with his lying behind sitting up there getting shamed to his face today, just jumped up and ran out, kind of how he ran off to Mexico when Texas was in the middle of a freeze. And y'all keep electing him. Okay. Bobert, you idiot, you idiot. Somebody, you guys electing these people, that this was the one talking about being in order. You, ma'am, was the one in a theater smoking a vape pen, blowing vape smoke on a pregnant woman and getting fondled by a man in an open theater. And you want to talk about decorum? That's trash, okay? But this one, these people are making $189,000 a year, can't pass a bill, can't articulate to save their lives. I think that husband ran over somebody's mailbox and killed their dog too. And Marjorie, you are the worst of the worst. How would you put that idiot in charge of any kind of committee? I know I'm digressing. I done crossed 10 minutes, but I'm disgusted. And you all ought to be ashamed that you have these sycophants sitting over you to make any kind of decisions. And the Supreme Court, disgusting. This is why you don't give people lifetime positions, because then they don't care. They will run roughshod over you, your children, and the next generation until those demons die. And not all of them, but some of them, even the ones you think will stand up, is rolling over. It is sad, but that's the state of the affairs, okay? So where I was going with this is that I hate to say I told you so, but again, were you a part of the solution or a part of this problem? Did you show up? And how did you vote? If you voted for this, then I know sometimes my mom, when I first got my right to vote, we used to say, if you don't vote, you don't deserve to complain. You don't get to complain if you didn't vote. But if you voted for it, then just sit in it. But can this country even last through 4 years? We haven't even been into 200 days yet, have we? Okay. No, we ain't been to 365. That's the first year. This is okay. Woo-wee. Okay, so like I said, I did my part. I showed up. And how are you feeling now, Latinos for Trump? Because I know it was a lot of salsaing going on and reggae and arenga and going around and singing songs and shit down there in Florida. Now they shutting down your businesses. You're scared to go to work. It was the Latinos for Trump, the Cubans for Trump. Y'all was hooting and hollering and dancing on the yacht. Oh, yeah, it was all of y'all. And out here in Vegas as well. I never understood how Las Vegas could be a red state. I didn't understand it. But then I come to find out that a lot of Latinos, like you say, they thinking they're white and they're exempt and they're in a higher class and a hierarchy than the others. But ask yourself, why have they not yet raided the casinos out here? Why just run through the kitchen at some of these high rank, the Wynn, the Bellagio, all of these casinos out here, the Cosmo, all of these high-end $1 billion. Oh, Fountain Blue cost $1 billion, where there's undocumented workers in these kitchens and working in hospitality, right? You know why? Because your orange man, his friends own these hotels. So just yesterday, I heard them say, well, now we're thinking about it, that we understand that if we take everybody, there may not be anybody left to work. This idea just came across your slow, dementia-ridden mind. Yeah, the cabinet members and all of the races with all of your little hoods, you just thought about that recently, did you? But it was amazing to me because this is a red state, right? And the tourism down here in Las Vegas done hit the wall. They said this year alone, if this keeps up at this pace, $90 billion will be lost. And we down 14%. Ain't nobody coming in here because they worried about it when they get back out. You're making America great again, you think? Okay, I'm going to get ready to wrap it up now. Like I said, I find all of this to be very peculiar and to be snatching up seating senators, arresting judges. My question is, let's have a Discord. Get down in the comments and let me know, what do you think the solution to this? America's looking like a shithole country right now, isn't it? How can this be rectified? Because it's sad. Wow. And I think if I was younger, I'd be heading to Thailand or Born Ficia. Where's the cool continent? Heading back to the continent of Africa, where the president is taking back the land and the minerals. And would nobody have to tell me to go, because I got passport. I'll go get dual citizenship. But my God. But Babylon, she gonna have to pay. Okay, so like I said, I haven't seen a lot of Latinos for Trump, and the leader of you guys that told y'all to vote and do this, oh, she real quiet now, ain't she? Yeah. Okay. So I just thought about that when I saw that now we're going to rethink the process of snatching everybody up. But then I also heard too that it's not about the immigration, that the people that are snatching the people up and putting them in detainment, that they are putting them into the detainment centers, allegedly, where they go to work for the private industry, you know, like the same people that own the private prisons, that they're going to work for them, and they have to work 5 days to get $5 to make a phone call. And I heard this through an attorney that's out here in Nevada that's working with some of the people that have been detained. Did y'all know about that? Okay, so he told y'all what he was gonna do. He's doing it. He don't really know where he is, and they're following him. Okay, so again, go back, watch the video. I'm gonna put it in there. I'm gonna put it in the description. The Mexican Repatriation Act, and a young lady in California is the one that dug up that bit of history. See, that's why they want all of our history hidden. That's why they want to ban books, so we don't know that the same game they running is coming around again. And some of these idiots like Marjorie Taylor Greene voted for a bill that she didn't read. See, these bitches, these people, they don't even read books, but then they want to ban them. Okay, so just be aware of that. And this is the way that the elite keeps us divided. If we all come against each other, we're out here in the streets fighting and carrying on, then no, we won't ever get ahead. The elite, that 2%, will stay on top, and 98% down here fighting, scuffling in the streets, and trying to rat each other out, and won't support each other to save their lives. But that's the way that this was set up to be. Wow, I'll come back another time because I'm going over right now. So I'm gonna let it go right now. But the wasted resources for this whole fraud of a parade tomorrow, I hope that it rains and pours and lightning strikes, okay? And it washes that foolishness out. And that $50 million could have really supported our veterans and our seniors. That money could have went to good use for some real housing for veterans that are struggling, for seniors that can't afford to eat, and that they've worked all their lives. That would have been a better use of $50 million, and 16 more that's going to have to repair DC streets because we got 70-ton tanks coming down the street to have an insecure individual feel like a dictator. It's just so damn stupid. But my question is, where do you turn to stop this foolishness? Come on back, join me, hit me up in the Day Village. This is Mrs. Day All Day. I'm gonna just keep it 100 because this is real talk with Mrs. Day All Day. Come drop by my website, get any of the books. You want to work together, we want to do some things, because I think everybody needs another multiple stream of income, honey, because the way this is going, you ain't gonna have no pension. They want the robots to be doing your jobs. And just God bless us all. I'm glad I got a relationship with the Lord. God bless you. I'll be back. And that's, like I say, drop in the comments. Let's have a Discord and talk about how we can stop this. I'm out.